Peace, peace. What's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Alright, for sure. Alright.
Yeah. Look, 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 yeah, yeah. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a See, lately I've been protecting my peace. I went to the land of Pineal, I've been protecting my seat. Even though I talk to spirits, I still come from the streets. A big step, but still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. I've been meditating during shadow work, I'm healing some shit. I've been trying to open my heart chakra, I'm feeling some shit. Yeah, I'm vibrating high, but I still beat your ass. And I don't really talk too much, but I teach your class. Yeah. And I still ride for my people. When I speak, I shake the room. I got some shit I can teach you. We don't vibrate the same, but I still pray I can reach you. A lost soul up in your eyes, just don't let it defeat you. 7 days within my fast, I'm on some emotional shit. I ain't even go outside, fuck the social shit. A lot of voices that I'm feeling, yeah, I'm controlling the shit. Yeah, I'm facing all my fears, yeah, I'm approaching the shit. Yeah. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a ride. My ambitions as a See, lately I've been protecting my peace. Went to the land of Pineal, I've been protecting my seat. Even though I talk to spirits, I still come from the streets. A big stepper, still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. I'm protecting my feet, yeah. I'm protecting my feet. A big stepper, still a gangster, I'm protecting my feet. Even though I talk to spirits, I still come from the streets. Yeah. I swear I try, baby. I guess that's just my ambitions, that's right. Yeah, my ambitions, that's right. I try, baby. Got these tears coming down my face, so I had to make this song.
What's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? What's going on, y'all? I pray all is well with y'all. Y'all know I ain't been live in a minute. Been having a lot of people hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop this so I can make a real tour. Yeah, it's dropping soon. Listen, the album dropping in April, so don't even trip. I got you. Album dropping in April. You feel me? How everybody feeling though? Everybody feeling? Everybody good? We only got 50 people in here tonight. I ain't been live in a minute, so you know. It's all good, though. We still finna go crazy. Look, man, I've been having a lot of people hit me up. A lot of people ask questions, so we back with another community gathering question. If this is your first time in the community gathering, welcome. We welcome you with open arms, of course. If you have any questions, please put the questions in the question box. If you want to join me on the live, please feel free to request a video, and you know we can build. You know what I'm saying? We can build and demonstrate, stand on that nation with that demonstration. So I pray all is well, man. Yeah, everything good over here. How y'all feeling? What's going on? Talk to me, man. I know everybody, you know, y'all ask questions. Go on to get the questions out now. Y'all know my account's still restricted until February 21st. So only got an hour to go brazy. So y'all go on to get your questions in. And I promise you, I'm going to do my best to answer all of them. If I don't get to you, please forgive me. Let me see. What mushrooms do you cook with? I cook with lion's mane, portobello mushrooms. I cook with oyster mushroom, king oysters. What you say on the hook of the song? What I say on the hook of the song? What do I say? My ambitions as a rock. Oh, lately I've been protecting my peace. I went to the land of Pineal. I've been protecting my seat. Even though I talk to spirits, I still come from the streets. A big step, still a gangster. I'm protecting my feet. I've been meditating, doing shadow work. I'm healing some shit. I've been trying to open my heart chakra. I'm feeling some shit. Yeah, I'm vibrating high, but I still beat your ass. And I don't really talk too much, but I teach your class. All right, come on, ask y'all questions now. Ask y'all questions. How do I find a spiritual husband? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Shit, I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't know, man. I would say just continue working on you. You know what I'm saying? Continue loving yourself. Do unto yourself before you expect others to do for you. And, you know, the individual that's for you will come to you. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that what you desire desires you. What's for you will not miss you. What's truly yours will not leave. Release all the things that you cannot control to make room for the things that you can. I pray I answered your question. Is juicing recipes in your cookbook? No, I don't have any juicing recipes in my cookbook. But, you know, I am working on a cookbook, for the juicing recipes. I'm also working on the alkaline cookbook right now as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, be patient with me. I got you. Blessed, I jumped on, feeling the courageous flux from you, aligned with the approaching full moon. Appreciate you. Preach that truth. Must protect our peace the highest, for sure. For sure. Ask y'all questions. Y'all got any questions? Put the question in the question box. Now, y'all be going brazy in my DMs. Every day I get over like 50 to 100 emails. So, you know what I'm saying? So y'all better ask y'all questions. My account is still restricted until February 21st. So please, I only got an hour to go brazy tonight. So, are you single? I am very much so single. Yes. Let me see. Good question. Ask your question, Courtney. And also, if you want to join me on the live, please feel free to request a video and we can build. You said first a Tupac bar, and I live where he lived. Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know why your energy is just so appealing, man. Listen, you gotta, I don't know. Shit, I'm a God. When God calls, God appears. So that's all I can. How do you find inner peace? The best way to find inner peace is going within. You got to think about the question that you just asked me. How do you find inner peace? You have to go inner. You know what I'm saying? You have to go inside of yourself to find that. And even with peace, right? Peace and happiness, to be exact. You have to understand that you have to have peace and you have to have happiness for no reason. And the reason why I say that is because once you find a reason to have peace, once you find a reason to be happy, once that reason is taken from you, now it's like, because you was depending on that external thing to accumulate the peace or accumulate the happiness. Once that external things is taken from you, now it's like, well, where does the peace and the happiness goes with it? I posted a few days ago that, ego versus spirit, right? Ego says, once everything fall in place, I will find peace and happiness. Spirit says, once you find peace and happiness, everything will fall in place. So I do advise you to go within, meditate, man, do some shadow work. Y'all know I talk about shadow work all the time. Damn near every community gathering we do, you know what I'm saying? I'm articulating about shadow work. So shadow work is very important. Shadow work is very important. Ashe. Let me see. Let me go up in here real quick. How would one cleanse energies out of your locks? What I would do, what I do is first I do a physical cleanse first. So it's the same with the body. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, if you want to do a spiritual cleanse, you know, the spirit and the body goes hand in hand. You have to do a physical cleanse and the spiritual cleanse all together. So what I would do is I would, you know, work on a physical cleanse first. So I would do some apple cider vinegar, baking soda, some sea salt. You know, well, not sea salt, but some pink Himalayan salt. I probably soak my hair in it, you know, some hot water, you know, for a few minutes, probably like a good 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then I will wash that out. And then what I will also do is I would also brew a tea. But this tea is an herbal tea, right? This tea is an herbal tea. And I'm putting my intentions inside this herbal tea, similar to like the spiritual baths that I spoke about with y'all before, right? So you get a big pot. You know, you get some herbs, you speak your intentions over the herbs, you put the water in a pot, you speak your intentions over the water, because for those that do not know, water holds memory, water holds, affirmations and, you know, the things that you speak into it. So when you speak these things into the water, you know, you brew the tea, and then the same what you did with apple cider vinegar and the baking soda and things in that nature, what you would do is you would just soak your hair in it, right? And then after you do that, wash it real good, grab some sage, some Palo Santo, you know what I'm saying? And you can literally sage your locks, you know what I'm saying? Just grab your sage, boom, you can sage them, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I would advise you to do, you know, to cleanse, the best way to cleanse your locks. At least that's what I do. So I pray I answered your question. Can I teach myself to meditate? 100%. Of course you can teach yourself to meditate. That's easy. Well, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's easy to those who want to do it. Right? I'm going to say that. It's easy to those who want to do it. So, yeah, teaching yourself to meditate is easy, but it can be hard if you let it. So, why are you single? To keep it gangster with you, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you. And this is just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm single because, you know, first and foremost, I'm gonna say this, right? For the past almost a year, you know what I'm saying? I've been intentionally single for myself, right? I've been healing, you know, I've been doing a lot of shadow work, you know what I mean? So I haven't really even, you know, announced or even, you know, stepped into the energy of putting myself, you know, forward or opening myself up to, you know, welcome anybody in, you know what I mean? Because I had my own healing to do. At least I wanted to start my own healing journey, you know, and that's what I did. But I would say the past few weeks, you know what I'm saying? I have opened myself up to dating, you know what I mean? To getting to know people. And the reason why is because, you know, I've realized that, you know, I was in a space for a while where I was so focused on loving those who don't love me while neglecting those who do. And so once I realized that, which I actually just realized that a few weeks ago, you know, during my extensive, you know, shadow work and healing journey, I was like, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, first and foremost, you know, of course you can love individuals, but you can love those individuals from a distance, you know what I mean? And start focusing on those who are going to reciprocate the same energy that you give. And so, you know, once I realized that, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm no longer depriving myself of the love that I know that I deserve. I'm no longer depriving myself of those who actually want to treat me like a god. You know what I'm saying? That want to treat me like a king. So, yeah, a few weeks ago, you know, I pretty much went ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I didn't advertise it, which I'm not advertising it now. I'm just, you know, answering the question. But, I opened myself up to get to know people, whatever the case may be. Of course, I'm not really interested in moving fast or anything like that. Of course, you know what I mean? Because of, you know, I'm still healing. You know what I mean? Which, of course, for me, my healing journey is going to be until I transcend or until I, you know, transcend into another dimension, whatever the case may be. But, you know, yeah, so, you know, to answer your question, I don't think I answered your question, but no, I'm answering your question. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm single, why I was single and still am single. was because I was doing shadow work healing. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I opened myself up. However, I will say also is because, you know, I also feel like I'm single because, you know, I feel like people just like the idea of me. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't, and what I mean by that is this, right? And I'm not saying I experienced it. Well, I have experienced it before, you know what I'm saying? But what I mean by it is this, right? So we all know that social media could be like, social media could be a facade, right? It could just be a perception, you know what I mean? So, however, my social media is not like that. You know what I'm saying? What I document and what I promote on my social media, of course, you know, I tell you all and I show you all what I want to tell you, and it's so much more that you all don't know of what I don't tell you. However, the things that I do tell you all and transparent about and I'm open to, that's my real life. So me meditating, me stretching, me watering plants, me reading, me studying, me being on these community gatherings and also articulating and certain things, I don't just articulate, I'll also demonstrate. And so when individuals get around me, and not only when they feel my presence, see, it's bull, you can feel my presence through this portable device. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, that's all fun and games. You can feel my presence through this portable device, but I promise you, it is not equal up to actually being in my presence. Right. And so once individuals do get in my presence and they experience me, they take a step back like, whoa, like, yo, yeah, this nigga really a god. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's really a king. Yeah, he's really living that. You know what I mean? And so it's certain people, you know, a lot of people, you know, sad to say that, you know, once they get around individuals that forces them based off energy alone, I don't have to say anything. I don't have to input anything, but just being around, honestly, right? Being around in my presence, it forces other individuals to improve. You know what I mean? And, you know, some people are comfortable with where they at. So, you know, to answer your question, most, you know, some people, they just like the experience, the idea of me. And so once they do experience me, they're like, yeah, nah, I don't think I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? Which is bull. It's all good. But, you know, that's why I'm single. And then, you know, of course, you know, I'm also taking it slow. You know what I mean? I'm not really trying to rush. You know, I'm in a space where I want a partner. I don't want an enemy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I pray I answered your question. To the queen that asked that question. I pray I answered your question. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Again, if y'all got any questions, please put the questions in the question box. If y'all want to join me, please request a live, and then we can, please note that my account is also, you know what I'm saying, restricted. So if I do add you on, please be time sensitive, because I only have an hour until February 21st until my account is, but yeah, you know, but to also be honest and transparent, you know what I mean, that I am a lot to take in. You know what I'm saying? And I had to realize that, you know what I'm saying? Actually, somebody made me realize that, like, damn, I am a lot to take in, because I do a lot. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot. I hone a lot. You know, I'm a lot to take in, and that shit could be overwhelming to some people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just him. I'm not even gonna go brazy. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, wisdom taught me to not always praise myself, but let others praise you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, do your affirmations and, you know, do your own confirmations to yourself, but, you know, let others praise you. So I'm not even finna sit here and say like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third, but I will say like, yeah, I am him. You know, I am very disciplined. I'm very focused. I do know how to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I do know how to play with creation. However, yeah, it's a lot that come with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I pray to the queen that answered that question. I pray I answered your question. Let me see what other questions y'all got, man. Oh yeah, y'all going brazy. Let me go to these questions real quick, man. Let me see. What's your take on a woman being in a situation with another woman but want a man? The woman who is the partner is not attracted to men, though. How do you go about that? Honestly, what I would advise you to do is, you know, if it's you, I would advise you to just be honest with your partner, with your woman partner, and let them know, like, yeah, I desire men. You know what I mean? Honest, it's communication. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing that I can tell you. Communicate. You know what I mean? And if your partner with whom you're with, you know, with her being a woman, if she's not okay with that and not down for that, then have to be something that you would have to step back and, you know, examine the situation, examine, you know, the relationship at hand to see if you can continue just being in that situation, in that dynamic, or, you know, you're gonna, if you feel like you need, you know, to deal with a man, you know what I mean? And then you, of course, you address that, you know, the best way possible. But, you know, the best thing I can tell you is communicate. You know what I'm saying? One thing I can tell you is in the past, when I did have a partner, you know what I'm saying, there was a time where, you know, I desired other women. You know what I'm saying? I desired to, you know, experience another woman. So as a man, a real man, you know what I'm saying, instead of cheating and going out and going behind my partner's back at that time, I sat down with her and I let her know, like, hey, babe, you know, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I honor you. I respect you. And this is why I'm coming to you like this as a man. I don't want to cheat on you. You know, I don't want to step out on you. However, I do desire other women. I do want to experience other women. However, and then another thing is that the space that I was in, I didn't want to experience other women without my partner. You know what I'm saying? So I even let her know, like, listen, I want to experience other women with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want us to have fun. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. Like, when I'm in a partnership, you know, I don't just think about the benefit of myself. We have to understand that our choices do not only affect us, but affect the people, places, and things around us. So because of that, and because I have that awareness, I don't just think about going about certain things only just for the benefit of myself. You know what I'm saying? I think about my partner. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing I can tell you is communicate. Communicate to her, man. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let them know that you want some, you know, you want that clip, you want that clip in your back. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So, are you monogamous or no? I'm monogamous and polygamous. And what I mean by that is that I do not have a problem with dealing with one woman for the rest of my life. With the rest of, forgive me. I do not have a problem with dealing with one woman for the rest of my life. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm okay with that. However, if the universe presents multiple women to me, I don't have a problem with that either. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, I'm both. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say this. I love women. First and foremost, I love women. Women are so beautiful. Women are so powerful. Women are fucking everything. I love women. So this how you know women are so beautiful, because women love women. You know what I mean? Like, I love women, and I just love. You know what I mean? I love. So, yeah. I pray I answered your question. Let me see what other questions y'all got, man. What other questions y'all got? How do you deal with loss or death on a spiritual level? How do you deal with death? How do you deal with loss or death on a spiritual level? I deal with it by first allowing myself to feel the emotions, right? Because, you know, I do have the awareness that, you know, energy is neither created nor destroyed. So anybody that do die for the, you know, I understand that death is nothing but an illusion, right? And so when somebody do that I'm close to, or whomever, you know, transition, you know what I'm saying? I know that that's not it for them. You know, they're either transcending, they're either coming back here to accomplish, you know, whatever they may need to, whatever they didn't accomplish with with however they transition, whatever the case may be, right? But because I am having a human experience, right? I allow myself to feel those emotions. That's first and foremost. If I gotta cry, if I gotta rage, if I gotta go to the gym and press some dumbbells, if I gotta, punch the punching bag, whatever the case may be, I allow myself to deal with those emotions first and foremost. Right. But also, I also have the awareness of transcending that energy and transcending those thoughts into knowing, you know what I'm saying? And having that awareness. Well, although I do feel this way, I know that you are somewhere or something doing greater things, better things, or, back experiencing this realm so you can learn the things that you need to learn, whatever the case may be, whatever mission, whatever purpose on, you being in this realm. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I deal with it. What you can also do, which I haven't done, but something that you can do, to the queen that answered that, you could do channeling work. You know what I'm saying? If you're into that, you can channel that individual's energy. You know what I mean? Ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? Communicate with them. Because one thing about it, when someone do transition and transcend, from this realm, whether they come back or go somewhere else, I do believe that it takes time. I don't believe that as soon as somebody transcend or transition, they just automatically come back here or they automatically go into another dimension. You know what I mean? So I do believe that it takes time. What's the movie? Damn, it's a movie. Oh, Pinocchio. The movie Pinocchio, I think it's on Netflix. If you watch that movie, right, and y'all already know, if I give y'all anything to watch, don't watch the movie. Watch the movie. Right. So when y'all watch the movie, you will see that every time Pinocchio transitioned, right, he went into the astral realms. And of course, the guide would tell him, every time you come here, your stay here is going to be longer until you go back to doing or go back to whatever you need to go back to. Right. So again, go watch that. So So that was a great example, you know what I'm saying, of what I'm speaking about. I don't believe, again, this is just my perspective, that when somebody transition, they just automatically go wherever. Like, nah, I feel like it takes time. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can channel that. You can channel that. And so because it takes time to transition into other realms and other dimensions, whether you come here or whatever, because it takes time, well, not even just because it takes time, but because we've been here, because we're energy and we was never created nor destroyed, but we've always been here. Because of that, and because we've transitioned so many times, ain't no telling how long you know what I'm saying, the next time when we do transition later on in life, ain't no telling how long we'll be in the astral realms. Ain't no telling how long we'll be in the unifield or the other dimension, because we done transitioned so many times. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can access that energy, do some channeling work. I pray I answered your question, though. I know I just went on, but, forgive me. Again, if y'all got any questions, please put the questions in the question box. I promise you, I'm going to do my best to get to you. So yeah, let me see what other questions y'all got going on, man. Let me see what else y'all talking about, man. Listen, real quick, I'm letting y'all know, man, I be getting a lot of DMs, a lot of emails. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be asking questions. You know what I mean? So listen, y'all know my account is restricted. I only got an hour, so please get y'all questions in. If a female has zero sex drive, where does that stem from? That can stem from many things. If a female have a zero sex drive, okay, boom. If she's with a partner, is she attracted to her partner? Is her partner stepping up and balancing those scales? Did her partner do anything that probably turned her off, and she's probably not in the space to step into her femininity to be able to, elaborate and expound on what's not, making her feel safe? Does she feel safe? You know what I mean? Does she feel comfortable? Can she be feminine? If she's by herself, you know, it could probably be because she doesn't have a partner. And if that is the case, I do advise women that don't have a partner to explore themselves. You know, you gotta learn to love yourself before you can love anybody else, especially when you're dealing with somebody else intimately. If you don't know what you like, how can you communicate to the other individual what you like? You know what I mean? So I would advise doing that. Of course, it could be, you know, health reasons as well. So it could be many reasons. You know what I mean? I would, you know, the best way to find out what the reason is to step back, you know, get some time alone, sit with self, go within and figure out what could be the issue. You know what I'm saying? Observe the people, places, and things around you. Observe your environment. You know what I mean? So I pray I answered your question. I know that was pretty short, but again, it could be many things. We can elaborate. We can elaborate on why, or, you know what I'm saying? We can elaborate on why on many things. So, you know, I pray I answered your question. I got a question. Hey, listen, if you got a question, put the question in the question box. If you want to join me on the live, please feel free to request to, you know what I mean? We're going brazy. We're going brazy for the next, well, we probably got about a good 45 minutes now. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see what other quick. Y'all asking questions. How do I heal from trauma and trust issues, PTSD? The best way to deal with the trauma and trust issues is to first acknowledge them. Right? A lot of people, we don't acknowledge them. So acknowledge them. Definitely take time. Shadow work is one of the biggest things that I always talk about. All right. Y'all know this. You know what I mean? So definitely shadow work, journaling, going back to those experiences. And I know, you know, going back could be traumatic, or, you know, it can bring up certain emotions, but, you know, bringing those emotions up and back up, they're actually healing, because then you will find yourself crying. You know what I'm saying? Crying is a release. You know what I'm saying? You will find yourself either getting upset and probably punching the pillow, or screaming, or ripping something. That is a release, right? So even if you pay attention to nature, right? For an example, and I'm gonna get back to the question, right? Even if you get back to nature, right, and you look at animals, let's say ducks, right? If you see two ducks fighting, right, they're gonna fight, right? And then when they disperse, you will see either or duck or both of them. You will see them flapping their wings vigorously, right? The reason why is because they're releasing that extra energy that's stored up that they probably didn't get out while fighting, and they're releasing that so they can get back to the present moment, right? And so the reason why I bring that up is because once you get in the space of being able to grab a journal, or even just sit with yourself, you ain't even got a journal, but you're able to sit with yourself, and you're able to go back to certain situations on what caused the trauma, what caused the trust issues. And you can decipher, okay, this is that, and also forgiving yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, and the reason why I say forgiving yourself, right? Because 9 times out of 10, before that trauma even happened, before that trust was even broken, there were signs, right? There were signs. And because you ignored the signs, right? It's not you just ignoring the signs. You're also ignoring the God voice inside of you. You also ignoring the ancestors speaking to you, your gut feeling, God, Jesus, whomever you subscribe to. You're ignoring that voice, right? And so when you ignore that voice, and you continue with whatever situation, and then that trust issue is broken, that trauma is caused, right? Now it's like, well, yeah, we can point the finger. However, when you point the finger, you got 3 pointing back at you, giving you confirmation that, hey, you were the one that had the most power in the first place, right? In the first place. And what happened, and how to solidify that and confirm that is because you seen the signs, you heard the signs before anything else happened. And so if you paid attention and you actually took heed and you listened to those signs, those red flags, that inner voice inside of you, you listened to that, then the trauma and the trust issues wouldn't have even happened. You know what I mean? So, of course, forgiving yourself for even allowing yourself, first off, not to trust yourself, to not listening to yourself, then also allowing it to happen. Because again, if you listen to yourself, that's you not allowing it to happen. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, shadow work for sure. Going back to the situations, going back to and also taking accountability to the things that you know that you knew and the things that you could have changed. So within yourself, not with the other person, because the only thing we can do, the only thing we can expect other people to do is to be them. That's it. We cannot expect anybody else to do anything or none of that. We can only expect them to be them, right? And whatever they show us, we have to take that. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta step out of the perspective of potential. You know what I'm saying? Falling in love with potential. You know what I'm saying? Because when you fall in love with potential, that is what creates resentment. That is what creates bitterness. You know what I mean? So let's step out. Let's get away from the potential. You know what I'm saying? Let's pay attention and look at what these individuals show us, the signs and symbols. Right. This is why I always pray. I pray for the discernment and the capacity to decipher all signs and symbols for the subconscious mind. Rather they're messages to propel me, rather they're messages to remove me from the situation, to observe the situations, whatever the case may be. I'm always praying for the discernment and the capacity to be able to recognize and decipher all signs and symbols for the subconscious mind. So I pray I answered your question. I pray I answered your question. Let's get back to the questions, y'all, because y'all know a nigga only got a few more minutes on this motherfucker, man. Y'all know my account's still restricted, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what other questions y'all got. Don't fall for potential. Exactly, man. That potential, man, listen. Hey, man, that potential of how you looking at yourself in the mirror like, who the fuck am I? Not recognizing yourself like, man, listen. Do you believe in celibacy to get closer to God? Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, yeah, that's a very great question. Do I believe in celibacy to get closer to God? That's very interesting. I'm gonna say this, right? I believe that you can utilize not having an intimate partner, out of love, right? I'm gonna say that. I believe that not having an intimate partner that is not out of love, meaning if you're being intimate with a partner and you don't see a future with them, you don't really like them, whatever the case may be, right? I believe when that is thrown out, you can utilize your own sacred creative energy. Transmute that creative energy, and of course, not just get closer to God, but also hear God, right? Be still and know that I am God, right? Be still, cut off all distractions, off sounds, and just sit within self. Which is why, they have programmed us to switch from, always meditating to now, constantly praying. You feel what I'm saying? Because praying is us talking to God, but meditating is also is hearing God, is listening to God, right? However, I wouldn't say celibacy is the only way, because you can also utilize your creative energy, your creative sexual energy out of love. To get closer to God, because you have to understand. I mean, hey, sexual energy is the most potent creative energy there is. You feel what I'm saying? You're able to literally bring another entity in this realm, so you can utilize that energy to not. So for an example, right, in my class, in my semen retention and my ejaculation control class, right. My semen retention and my ejaculation control class, right? I teach my men that, when you're dealing with a partner, right? You want to be present, you know what I'm saying? And I also teach them that the purpose of ejaculating, other than creating, is a waste of life force, right? So to all my kings, the gods that's on here, listen to what I'm saying. The purpose of ejaculating, other than the purpose of creating, It is a waste of life force. So as a man, as a woman, I'm have a partner out of love. Again, having high sex energy is also healing energy, right? So being able to utilize this energy and put intentions behind this energy, it's the most potent and creative energy you know what I'm saying, you can accumulate. So being able to transmute that energy and not just waste it and not just use it to be destructive, just, you know, busting anything, walking down, whatever the case may be, you can utilize that energy and you can actually get closer. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like you can meditate during that act. You know what I'm saying? During the intimacy, breath work. You can align the energy chakras, you know what I'm saying? Palm to palm, chest to chest. You can circulate chi. Chi is God. Breath is God, right? In the Holy Scripts, what is it? Is it the Bhagavad Gita? No, the Holy Bible. It says God, blew breath through his nose, right? To create the first man. Like chi is God. So being able to not only align the energy centers, being able to not just be present and in that, because the present moment is all we have. The present moment is being able to tap into the unit field. You know what I'm saying? So when you're present and able to tap into the unifield, this goes back to the what is it? The gamma waves, right? The brain waves. When you're in that gamma state, you're able to tap into the unifield. You're able to bring information down from the unifield into this reality. So if you're in the midst of that sacred creative energy, aligning the energy chakras, you're at a gamma state, so you're present, right? Then you're circulating chi. Man, listen, having intercourse and seeing stars, that shit is real. Having intercourse and feeling like you're in another dimension, that shit is real when it's done correctly. So yes, you can use celibacy and using your own creative energy to get closer to God and, you know, get closer to certain beings or entities, whomever you subscribe to. But you can also utilize that with another partner out of love. You feel me? So I pray I answered your question. All right, so I see a few people want to join in real quick. So look, before I add somebody on here, please be mindful. My account is still restricted. We only got an hour. I already been on here for like 30 minutes. So please be time sensitive. You know, hop in, ask your questions. Let's have a dialogue. Let's build real quick. She just requested, come on in. You raised your hand, come on to the front of the class. Which poppin'? Yo,
Hi there.
how you cool? How you doing?
I am good. Peace to you. Gratitude for what you're doing.
Yeah, gratitude.
I'm actually
Gratitude.
absolutely. I'm actually driving on the road right now, so I turned the light on just for light, but it's gonna be dark.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to ask you about. I'm guessing to tie a couple of the answers that you gave together. As far as getting over the first being PTSD and trauma and working through that, and also tying into celibacy, doing that just because I personally experienced childhood trauma in the form of molestation. And I've been on my spiritual journey has been, you know, understanding my sexuality, getting back into being able to look past flashbacks to actually be able to look at a man, and, you know, carry out my innate purpose, which is to be a woman, to be a feminine woman, to nurture, you know, to bear fruits in more ways than just a child, but essentially a child, you know, creating a home, keeping myself and everything around me healthy, light, and happy. But stemming from that trauma, I wanted to just ask on how, do you have any advice as far as getting over, like I said, flashbacks? Because I've done spirit work, and I'm able to, you know, sit in myself and sit and listen and be able to sit in quietness and quiet the world, quiet myself, and listen to myself, and being self-reflective and introspective. But it's something that I've been having trouble with through all that is actually, you know, just playing back scenarios and how I felt after that and how that situation caused me to feel certain ways in other situations as I got older. So just any suggestions or thoughts on just the actual replaying of having memories.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the thing, right? So let me ask you, do you do stretching, yoga, or anything at all?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the reason why I asked that is because, you know, stretching, specifically the hips as well. And this is something that I learned, that a lot of trauma is stored within the body, right? Majority of the trauma is stored within the hips, right? And so like a lot of things that that I do is that I don't just stretch, but I intentionally stretch to release certain blockages inside of, you know what I'm saying, inside of my body. So that's one thing what I would advise. You know, I know you said you do stretch, but before stretching, before yoga, set your intentions to release those blockages, because that's pretty much stored energy, right? What I will also say is also being able to open up different meridian pathways. So when you do have those flashbacks, you can also release. Now, what I will say is that will the flashbacks fully go away? That's something that I would say that I'm still researching, and I don't necessarily know, because you know we're over 87% water, and you know water holds memory. Our DNA, actually our melanin on our skin holds more memory than our brain, right? Our heart holds more memory than our brain. And so the reason why I say that is because you know you're the reason why I say that is because you can also utilize, you know, certain practices as far as, you know, well, not utilizing practices, but because of because of the memory is stored, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily say that the flashbacks will necessarily go away, but what you can do is that you could have these flashbacks and at least sit with them and being able to purge out, you know what I'm saying, and release. So then when the flashbacks do come, or whatever the case may be, or the memories do come, you're able to sit in a space of being able to forgive and being able to let go, because that's pretty much what it, you know what I'm saying, what it really boils down to. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we have these flashbacks and us trying to you know, bury them or whatever the case may be, is mostly because we haven't forgiven whomever just traumatized us. You know what I'm saying? One of the great books, have you ever heard of a book called The Body Keeps Score?
I'm sorry, you cut out. You said The Body Keeps Score?
Yeah.
The Body Keeps Score? No, I have not.
For sure. So I would advise you to get that book. That book is a very powerful book. It's a very beautiful book. It basically expounds on how the body stores certain trauma in certain areas. Also, what you can do is you can find a spiritual practitioner that's into like massaging and things like that, because also it could be it could be trauma, it could be memories and trauma between your joints. You know what I'm saying? So so yeah, it's a lot of it's a few things that you could definitely do. But what I definitely would advise you to do, because you know that's something that's very traumatic. You know what I mean? Just be patient with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Allow yourself to continue to grow. Allow yourself to
interject. Not to interject. I mean, I'm receiving everything, and thank you for everything that you have shared with me. I'm in it. I will certainly take heed, because it has to be something that is physical that I'm not working through completely. Because on the mental aspect of it and the spiritual aspect and the forgiveness side, I have forgiven because I had to look at that particular person and see that they possibly experienced trauma as well. And
Mm.
they were at an age where they were acting out of doing something because of what they had experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take myself out of I put myself in my feelings, and I had to take myself out of my feelings and look at the logic and of what, of what goes on in our community. Sad to say, but it taking that and working through that, the mental and the spiritual, as far as forgiveness, that is it's never a completed work, but I'm at peace with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the physicality of it, I said, my desire, is essentially to be with a man. I explore. I've been in a polygamous relationship as well. And it comes down to, still as a woman, my purpose, like you were saying, as being a creator and having that open and fluid relationship as being an extension of the creator. So with that, I will take heed to that in continuing to take down the scotomas, and possibly creating some additional neural pathways at that point of uncomfortability, where I have those flashbacks, and taking that and just continuing to counteract and transfer that energy. Because like you said, energy is neither created nor destroyed, so it's only transferred. So I just need to continue on that transference.
For sure.
And continue to transition and metamorph in this lifetime to fulfill my innate duty, to fulfill my purpose. You said to be a woman, to be feminine, and able to do that, and be able to submit to a man to lead. So
for sure.
I don't mean to be rambling, but gratitude, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's all good. I'm about to
shouts out to you. So yes, absolutely, I appreciate you.
For sure, Queen. I appreciate you. Be safe.
God.
Be safe on that road now.
For sure. Already going down through Houston, headed down to Little Mexico and Colorado. But yes, sir.
All right, Queen.
All right. Peace, God.
Peace. Beautiful. I appreciate the Queen that was just on, man, being open, being vulnerable. For those that don't know, this is your first time in a community, man, in a community gathering. This is what the community gathering is for, man. Being able to be open, being able to be transparent, and to find the answers that we shall seek. When God calls, God appears. So, it's nothing but God energy here. High vibrational frequency, positive energy. So, that's what the community gathering is for us to get together and, enlighten each other, encourage each other, motivate each other, and also heal each other, because it does take a village. You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate the Queen that just tapped in, man. Let me see what other questions y'all got, man. Y'all know Instagram, they only give me a few more minutes, y'all. So let's see what else we got going on real quick. Let's see what other questions we got so I can answer them before Instagram kick me off. Should I get back on when Instagram kick me off? Should I get back on? Should we continue with the questions? You know what I'm saying? What should we do, man? But yeah, I'm gonna go back to these questions. But yeah, man, Queen, just continue with the healing, man. Be patient with yourself. One brick a day, you eventually have a house. The journey is the destination. You feel me? The journey is the destination, man. Embrace the journey. You know what I'm saying? Continue loving yourself. Continue transcending and transmuting that energy. Because when the thing is, when you transmute that energy, you're tapping into your God abilities, which most people would like to call alchemy. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what alchemy is, being able to transmute energy and redirect it into something more productive. Like, for an example, right? I know a lot of people would say, when somebody send you bad energy, send it back to them. In my perspective, excuse me, my perspective is just think about the cycle that create. You know what I'm saying? When somebody send you bad energy, you send it right back. But if we know the laws of the universe, you know what I'm saying, that just trickles down into another to a cycle. What you can do is tap into your God ability and utilize alchemy. So when somebody send you bad energy, you can actually give them gratitude for even sending you free energy. They're sending you free energy. You can take that energy, transmute that energy into something more productive that can, you know, propel yourself and yeah, man, and go crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And go crazy. So yeah, let me see what other questions y'all got before they kick us off. Y'all saying I should get back on. So we're gonna get back on, you know, once Instagram kick me off, we're gonna get back on, y'all. Let me see. Let's see. Yes, I'm single and desired a man of God. I just didn't want to be distracted by being intimate. Oh, this is the queen that asked me about you know, being intimate, being intimate, you know, to get closer to God, or celibacy to get closer to God. This is the thing, right? You got to understand that your perspective, your perception is your reality. So with you saying I just didn't want to be distracted by being intimate right then and there, that's the inner voice that is inside of you articulating that, yeah, once you become intimate, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking specifically for you. Once you become intimate, you will find yourself off track, or you will find yourself being distracted. You know what I mean? So I would say, excuse me, if you feel like you will be distracted by being intimate, you know, 100%, don't utilize it. You know what I mean? Don't utilize, you know, that creative energy and transmuting that creative energy. However, if you do want to change your perspective, or at least broaden your perspective on being intimate and the powers that it hold and the creative energy that you can utilize and transmute that into getting not only closer to God, but also closer to yourself. You know what I'm saying? The inner God inside of you. So yeah, I appreciate you for answering that question. I mean, asking that question. Let me see what the questions we got, man. We going brazy tonight. I love it. I miss y'all, man. Y'all know I love the community, man. Without the community, there is no community. So, you know, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for even being a part of the community. I give honor, thanks, and speak life and power into the powers that be, man. You know what I'm saying? That even put me in a position to be able to obtain the knowledge that I have, to be able to convert this knowledge into wisdom, to not only be able to teach myself, but the people, places, and things around me. Yo, you know, that which I wanted to become, I became. So therefore I am. Do you have books you want to share to help with today's discussion? Not necessarily. I got books for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But I would say the next time we do the community gatherings, I'll share some books. I share some books. I think the last community gathering we was on, y'all. So if you're looking for some books, man, go to the last community gathering we did, and we can go crazy. Definitely been closer to God since nearly a 5-year abstinence. That's amazing. Wow, 5 years. That's beautiful. That's what's up. 5 years for sure. Let me see what other questions y'all got, man. Do you know who you was in your previous life? I ain't gonna do that. You also gave me great courage hearing you speak. Thank you. Oh, gratitude. Damn, it was another question I was just about to ask, though. Let me see. I got that. Somebody asked, how old are you and how long have you been into spiritual work? How long have you been into spiritual work? What did it take to change your life? I'm gonna be honest with you. I changed my life when I was in prison, man. I was behind them walls, when I was locked up. You know what I mean? I mentally changed my life before I got out. You know what I'm saying? Before I hit the free world, before I hit the turf, you know, I mentally changed my life. And while I was laying in my bed, you know, I was visualizing and imagining. You know, the greatest nation we have is our imagination. So I was imagining my life being different. You know what I'm saying? I was imagining, you know, changing the actions that I was putting out, changing the energy that I was putting out before I even got out. You know what I mean? That's first thing first. But, you know, when I did get out, changing my diet was one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, that was, I feel like that was the foundation for me. And the reason why I say that was the foundation for me is because I'm a firm believer that based off what you consume, have the ability to unlock your